I live in the top, but it could happen, whatever,
Okay. So
I think that maybe I want to do it.
you think you're going to evacuate?
Yeah.
Okay. Right on camera, you heard that gentleman change his mind. First, he didn't want to go to the evacuation center. Now he is going, but not everyone has gone to those shelters so far. We found this group of people standing just about 200 feet away from the water, waving a flag and drinking. Shouldn't you be evacuating at this point?
No. We hang out, we see what happens, people drink.
Are you worried, though? Are you worried it might be dangerous?
No.
You know, this is one of the most dangerous parts of the whole island right now.
No.
No, you don't think so?
No.
It's low, it's
because
close to the water?
The Yunque is a big mountain we have in the middle. They push the storm up.
Okay.
They're having the same. We don't think they hate so much,
All right, don't listen to what that gentleman is trying to say there. We have no idea what he's talking about. Irma is moving in. There is no special protection outside of Puerto Rico that is going to lessen the blow. So you can see here in the San Juan Coliseum, people are slowly streaming into the evacuation center. This center is the largest on the island, holds about 500 people. We spoke to one of the 150 who have arrived so far.
We don't know what's going to happen. It's scary, and I pray for everyone that's out there don't want to leave their homes. Their lives come first. The property stays. If it breaks, windows or whatever, just go.
All right, heed that woman's advice, because back out here live from San Juan, Puerto Rico, Irma moving in. The rain coming down harder than ever. The waves starting to get bigger and bigger. And that wind is picking up. We're about 10 floors above the shoreline right here, because this seems to be the safest spot at the moment, Laura and Calvin. But we're going to go down a little bit closer, and the next time we come live to you, you're going to see exactly how scary that water is already looking. Up here you can already see some of the white caps. But I can tell you, when you are standing down there and you see those waves coming in 5 to 10 feet high, it is much more scary and certainly much more dangerous. Again, there are people that receive us, of course, here in Puerto Rico. If you are still home in one of those low-lying areas, you need to head to that evacuation shelter. The director of that shelter, or any of the 456 shelters, they've been telling us all day long that they want people there as soon as possible, because this storm is only going to get more and more intense by the moment.
And Ross, as we see you there feeling the effects already, and we can keep looking at this image of Irma, at this point it made its first landfall in Barbuda, and Max Mayfield was telling us, St. Martin, Anguilla, he would be surprised if it wasn't just total devastation. There may be no communication whatsoever. It would be nice to think, maybe some folks there in Puerto Rico have communicated with friends in some of the other islands, and they know what's coming and how seriously to take this, but it doesn't seem there is any communication coming out of those first hit areas.
You're absolutely right, Lori. You can't really look at the devastation that's happened to the west of us and not think the same thing is going to happen here. Puerto Rico has never gotten a Cat 5. They know the devastation that these hurricanes can cause, and we've never seen anything like this. Max Mayfield said it best last night when he said it really doesn't matter if it's a Cat 4 or a Cat 5, whether it's a freight train or a truck that is coming, you're in danger either way. So everyone within the sound of our voices needs to get to those shelters as soon as possible. And for those who are in homes that have hurricane glass and decide to shelter in place, be as safe as you possibly can.
And Ross, you told us yesterday that FEMA is going to have a presence there on the island. Are you seeing some of the officials who are there? I'm reading at least 500 officials from FEMA are going to be there. They will certainly have their work cut out for them once Irma gets out of there, right?
Yeah, FEMA has 400 people here on the island. They've already moved in rescue team, medical specialists, generators, food and water into this area. We've been in communication with them for quite some time. The president now has signed that emergency declaration for Puerto Rico, so that's given FEMA even more authority and even more resources. But remember what their role is. Their role is to assist after a natural disaster. So at this point, what they are doing is staging and staying in place and waiting for this storm to pass. FEMA actually does not get involved in getting people to shelters. And we know when the winds get over 60 miles an hour, the local authorities here will not go out to any call. So like the local authorities, in just a few moments, FEMA will be standing by for aid and relief after the hurricane passes, the thrust of the hurricane. And look, I don't know how many times we can say that, but it bears repeating one more time. If you are out on a road, if you're in a car, if you are walking near the water and you think if something happens, someone is going to come and get you, they simply are not. FEMA will not be out until the storm is over, and local authorities will not be out once these wind speeds get over 60 miles an hour.
And Ross, you are right there in San Juan in the northeast part of Puerto Rico. We are seeing on the radar and the other half of the screen as the eye wall is nearing you. It is just going to deteriorate so quickly. Let's bring in Betty and Max right now. Max, can you start off with informing Ross of what he's going to start feeling here?
Sure. On that radar, if you look at that little donut around the eye, that red semicircle there, that's the innermost eye wall. That's where the really strong winds are. That's where those Category 5 hurricane force winds are. And that's staying just, so far, just a little bit to the north of the Virgin Islands, like now. Just hurricane, so I would not count on this breaking up.
Larger and getting larger. Max and Betty, our weather authority, right here. We're going to take a quick break as Irma pounds Puerto Rico. We'll be right back.
I'm just putting that.
Sure. Hey, we have more information than he does. Yeah.
No, he said Calvin.
the global models continue to forecast this to be just amazingly strong. We can't, the meteorologists are kind of, Betty and I are shaking our heads here looking at the pressure forecast by the global models. It's extremely low. If that's true, it is indeed going to, maintain this